All right, hello and welcome to another session of Fit Essentials. My name is Shauna. I'll be taking you through class today. Quick disclaimer, you're about to engage in intense physical activity. Proceed with caution. Do not attempt to perform any movement or activity that exceed your current physical capabilities. Participants with injuries, high blood pressure, chronic health conditions, or recent chest pain, or if you have any other condition that may limit your ability to participate in this activity, please consult your physician or healthcare provider before proceeding. So with all that said, let's go ahead and come on up to our feet. We're going to start with some breathing. So we're just going to walk the feet about hip width apart. Just have a little bit of bend in the knees, bouncing the ankles a little bit. We're going to bring the palms in front of the chest. Pull that chin in so you stack your head right over your shoulders and hips. And now we're going to breathe in nice and deep as you reach up to overhead. Fill the lungs with air, stretch up, and drop the arms down and relax. Fantastic. We're going to do that 2 more times through. Feel free to close your eyes, breathe in, stretch tall, fill the lungs with air, and then relax. Let it all go. Beautiful. Last one, everyone. As you breathe in, try to elongate through the spine. Feel the top of your head lift up towards the ceiling, and then let it all go. Pull the shoulder blades back as you bring those arms down to the sides. Very good. Go ahead and let the arms be nice and heavy at the side. Again, bounce through the hips, and we're going to move into our gates of heaven here. Just let the arms be heavy, swinging side to side. Very good. So we're just letting the arms swing and guide that motion with the hips. So I swing one hip forward and then the other hip forward. Just start to get some good rotation here. Just some real simple movement. Get the spinal fluid that runs up and down your spine. You want to keep that circulating well. And this just helps encourage all that. Very good. About 10 more seconds here. Again, arms are heavy. Just let them slap against the body. Hips sway forward. Very good. From here, let's go ahead. You're going to mirror me. So I'm going to go left. You're going to go right. Right foot forward, left foot back. Have yourself far enough forward that that shin is vertical, heel is planted. Take your right hand on your right hip. And now we're going to make some nice big sweeping circles with your left hand. So you're going to stretch up and back. As we reach in front of the body, turn your palm so it's facing in towards your body. And then as you come overhead and circle back, now we're going to turn the palm so it faces away. And just nice and slow here. We're going to go between 3 and 5 times, stretching up, even feel the opening in the front of the hip. Very good. Reaching forward, reaching up to overhead, and nice, smooth circular patterns. Fantastic. Last one here, then we're going to switch sides. Fantastic. Before we go directly to the other side, come to center, and we're going to just wake up the hips a little bit more. Rock the hips side to side. There you go. And then now we're going to circle the hips around. Push the hips back, round to the side, forward, and all around. We're going to go 3 to 5 each direction. And when you're ready, go ahead and switch it other way. Morning, Jean, welcome. Very good. And then once you finish your hip circles, we're going to turn to the opposite side. So second time through, your left foot's forward. Take your left hand on your left hip. And then now your right arm's going to reach out in front, up to overhead. Get a nice smooth circle through the shoulder, opening through the hips. And again, hand position. So as you reach in front of your body, turn your palm in. And then as you come overhead, turn the palm away. And then start to put your hip into it as well. So as you reach forward, shift the hip, fire that glute on your back leg. Fantastic. Couple more times. Opening, elongate. You can start to reach up to overhead. Last time through. Very nice. Reaching forward. Take it all the way around. Fantastic. Go ahead and come on back to center. Palms together, we're going to come straight up to overhead. Walk your feet in just a little bit closer. And now we're going to bend to the side. So my hands are together, long position overhead, and just side bend here, side to side. Breathe in to lengthen and just gently exhale as you drop into that bend, still staying strong through the midline. Good. Let's go about once more each direction. Reaching to the side, up to center, and down to the other side. Very good. Go ahead and relax that down. Hands on the thighs, slight bend into the knees, chin to the chest. Come on down into our Jefferson curl. Sliding the hands down the shins. Gonna find that bottom position for you here today, or at least at this point in the workout. Take a nice deep breath into the back of the rib cage once you come into the bottom, and then tuck those hips under, make your way back up to the top. Fantastic. You can either stay in a stagger stance here, or if you're comfortable, come on down to a lunge. Let's again have your right foot forward, and you'll have your left knee down or left foot back. Once we're down here in the lunge, we want to be long enough in our position so that when you shift forward, that front shin stays vertical and you stay planted through that heel, all right? We're going to start by reaching the downside leg. So it'd be your left, reach it straight up, check in with your posture. So pull your chin in, stack the head, bend the elbow. We're going to go tricep side bend. So grabbing that elbow and we're bending to the side. So straight on looks like this, hinging over. Very good. And most commonly here, we'll drop that head forward. So keep the head tall and relax down. From here, take your right arm, elbow by the right knee, slide down the shin. We're just going to hover down by the instep, opening up that outer hip on that right leg. Just breathe here. 2 to 3 breaths, allow everything to open. And now you're gonna take your inside arm, your right, reach underneath your outside arm, and then we're gonna lift up out of your bottom shoulder and rotate back behind. So reach and lift up and follow it back. Just nice and gentle here, getting some good rotation. We're gonna go 3 times on one arm, and then we're gonna switch sides. If this position is uncomfortable, you can always use like an extra pillow or a block to kind of lift yourself up here and have a little bit more of a lift on this position. So again, outside arm, now we reach underneath that lead leg. And again, as you rotate, lift up out of the downside shoulder. So reaching under, lift up and rotate. Once more there, and then we're going to switch legs. And pivot up. Very good. Finish that out, and then again, like I said, we're going to switch sides. So you're mirroring me, so you'll have your right leg down, left foot forward, checking out the length of that lunge position, and when you shift forward, that heel stays planted, shin vertical. Very good. Starting with that tricep stretch, reach straight up, pull the chin in, looking straight ahead, bend the elbow, and now we're bending towards that lead leg about 5 times. Breathe in and exhale as you bend towards the side. Nice deep breaths. And after about 5 times here, we're headed back towards that instep. So left elbow by the left knee, slide down the shin, hover by the instep. And again, this would be a great spot if this is an uncomfortable position to use a block or a pillow just to elevate yourself up so it's not uncomfortable. After a couple breaths here, we're going to do our rotations on this side as well. So walk the fingers under, lift up out of that bottom shoulder as you rotate back. Try to follow your hand with your gaze the whole time. So watch the hand reach, follow it back, get some good rotation through the neck. And after 3 on one arm, same thing, other side, this time walking your fingers underneath that lead leg. Find your in position there, and then lift up and follow with your gaze. Rotating away from that lead leg is typically the more restricted area, so you might find like, man, I cannot go very far. Just go as far as your body currently allows, and then be patient. Very good, everybody. Once you finish those 3 cycles there, go ahead and come onto hands and knees, and we're gonna go palms down, just gently stretching out those forearms. So palms down, fingers are towards me, and I'm just rocking myself side to side. And you can start to circle around. 2 to 3 one way, and then 2 to 3 the other. All right, so we're gonna warm up for some squats. Once you get those opened up, we're gonna place the hands underneath the shoulders, swing one leg out to the side, and then we're gonna rock the hips back. Hips back towards the heel, opening up that inner thigh, rocking forward and rocking back, between 3 to 5 each time. Reaching the arms nice and long in front of the body, dropping the head down towards the floor, gently opening the upper body as well. Very good. And before we go to the other side, we're going to go our quadruped hip rock. So you're going to walk the knees in and together. Hands are underneath both shoulders, and just very gently drop the hips side to side, stretching out the outside of the hips a little bit into the low back. Very good. And once that opens up for you, then we'll swing the opposite leg out and start to roll into our hip rocks on this opposite side. Again, about 5 times, forward and back. Gently starting to open after about 3 or so, bringing the upper body into it a little bit more as you rock the hips back. Reach those hands in front of you or to the side, nice and long. And about 1 more there. Very good. Once you finish that, we're going to walk the feet back in, place your hands underneath the shoulders, turn your toes under. We're going to drive those hips up, moving into down dog. Gently pulse the head between the arms, rocking forward and back a few times here. Breathe in, and then exhale as you push the head between the arms, and then go ahead, pedal out those heels. Get a nice stretch in the back of the legs. All right, folks, just a couple more stretches down here on the floor, and then we're going to make our way up. But go ahead and come onto your side. We're going to stretch out our quads next. So feel free to prop up on the elbow, straighten out the bottom leg, and then whichever leg's on top, go ahead and grab the heel, pull that heel towards the glute, keeping your thigh nice and level. And we're going to hold this guy about 20 seconds. So good time to breathe. Gently opening the front of the hip, driving the leg back. And notice the shoulder as well. Sometimes we'll push the shoulder forward. So set that shoulder blade back and down on the torso. Relax and swing around to the opposite side. So elbow stacks right underneath the shoulder. Grab that top foot, pull that heel back. Gently opening. Good job. About 10 more seconds here. Very good. And relax. Go ahead and roll onto your back. And open up the back and the hips a little bit more, and then we'll make our way back to our feet. So we're going to start with our windshield wipers. Knees are divided, feet are flat on the ground. And then just imagine if your knees were windshield wipers on your car, you're just going to gently drop them side to side, encouraging some opening into the hips. Once everything is moving fairly well there and you feel comfortable, you can use the lower abdomen, pull the legs up and together, arms out to the side, and then just gently bringing the legs side to side for 2 knee twists, looking over the opposite shoulder. Engage that core as you pull the legs up and across. And as you drop the legs to the opposite side, same idea, turn your gaze around the other shoulder. Very good. Let's go about once more on each side. Well done. Feet flat on the ground, a little bit closer together. It's about hip width apart. a little bit closer than our windshield wipers, and then just gonna open up the front of the hips with some glute bridges. Fire in those glutes, just up and down at your own tempo here. We'll go about 30 seconds. As you push the hips up, pull the chin in, open up the back of the neck. And just give your focus in towards the glutes. So you're just trying to wake up more and more of that tissue in the backside of your hips. So squeeze the tissue and open, push them up. You just don't want to go so far that you have any kind of pinching in the low back. So think about lengthening through the spine as you drive the hips forward. Very good, everybody. Let's go about one more here. Up and hold. Lengthen the back of the neck and relax. Very good. Go ahead and pull both knees into your chest. Rock yourself side to side. All right, we're going to make our way up to our feet next. Great time to go ahead and grab some water, and then we're going to get prepped for our first circuit. We're going to be going upwards of 45 seconds, squatting with or without weight, and then a bent over or a seated row with the band. So both of them will be a total of 45 seconds. I'll let you know at 30 and so on, but we're going to warm up our squat just a little bit more before we jump right into it. So once you've come up, grab a sip of water. We're going to place the feet about hip width apart. This is a great time. You can hold on to a chair, a countertop, or anything, or simply reach your arms straight out as you drop those hips back, starting to wake up, coming into a little bit deeper range of motion, and then push through your heels, pull yourself nice and tall. And again, as you're ready, reach the arms out. Use the arms to encourage that chest to be nice and tall. Heels down, knees pushing out. You don't want to go beyond the toes, right? But we're just looking to keep the knees and the feet nice and aligned. Gripping those toes down as you keep those heels planted. Fantastic. So just kind of use that as your guide. Like I said, we're going to be doing 3 cycles through. You can do unweighted squats, or you're welcome to hold weights. You can go 2 arms, or you can hold the weight right underneath the chin, and so on. All right. Once we finish the squats, 45 seconds there, you can either stay up and come into a bent over position where you reach forward, pull those elbows up and in, okay, using a dumbbell. Again, 1 or 2, or this is a great time. If you want to save from hinging, you can come into a seated position in a chair on the floor and do the band for a double arm row here. Okay, so those are the options. I'm going to be demonstrating the bent over row for these circuits, but you're welcome to do that seated row instead. All right, any questions before we begin? So 3 rounds, 45 seconds squat, 45-second row, 15 seconds rest in between, taking it 3 times through. And actually, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds in between sets, 15 in between exercises. So if you want to change up your weights, you'll have time to do that. All right, otherwise, we're going to get started here in 10 seconds. Squatting first. So set those feet about hip width apart. Find something straight ahead to focus on. 2, 1, and here we go. Sinking back. Focus on good control this first round. You want to be able to have a similar tempo or even slightly faster on rounds 2 and 3. Use this first cycle here, warming up the movement. Make sure all systems a go. That's 20 seconds. There you go. That's 30 seconds. If you tend to get sore from squats, it may be best just to keep it to 30 seconds as you kind of build up here. Otherwise, we're almost there. There's a couple more reps. Breathing through. 2, 1, and rotate. Fantastic. Either seated or bent over row is next, your choice. Those of you doing the bent over, have your feet about hip width apart, toes straight ahead, slight bend to the knees, hinging forward, and here we go. Putting those elbows into the side, reach forward, squeeze in. Long spine here. And we're building strength in our upper back, but especially those in the bent over position, you're still also using those muscles of your lower spine to hold that posture. So stay strong. Keep the weight back in the heels, activate those hamstrings as well. Reach and squeeze those shoulder blades back and down. That's 30 seconds, everybody. Nice and strong, good. And chin in as well. Whether you're seated or bent over, pull that chin in, elongate through the back of the neck. 2, 1, and rest. Very good. We'll take 30 seconds, and we're going to be back to the squats. So if you went unweighted on the first round, you could add a little bit of weight here. Just do whatever feels best to you. 10 seconds till we start. All right, place the feet about hip width apart, slight toe out, 2, 1, and here we go. And now coordinate that breathing. Breathe in as you lower. Exhale as you push through your feet. Strong foundation. Fantastic. Eyes straight ahead. Chest nice and tall. Great work. That's 30 seconds. Moving well, chest tall. Every rep looks the same. And 2, 1, and rotate. Good job. Seated or bent over row next. Those of you in the bent over position, walk your feet in a little closer. Toes straight ahead. Hinge forward, and here we go. Squeeze. Want to avoid that shrug up and into the ears, and instead lower shoulder blades like you're trying to squeeze them into touch. Stay strong in the midline and lower body. Fantastic. That's 30 seconds. Still holding that head strong, chin in. Again, reach forward, hold it back and in. Anytime you need to give this position a break, please do. 2, 1, and relax. Whew. Hello. Nice job. That's 2 down, 1 to go. 20 seconds left in the rest. All right, 10 seconds. This is our final set of squats. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Good job. Chest up, knees out. Sitting the weight back. Trying not to lose that posture. Looks great, everybody. Breathing strong, keeping that depth. Try to be consistent each time. That's 30 seconds. Woo! Well done. Very good. Nice and smooth, down and up. Maybe one more. 2, 1. Rotate. Fantastic. Just our seated or bent over row is next. I'm actually going to switch over to the seated position for this last round. Foot around the band if you're doing this version. 2, 1, here we go. Squeeze in, reach forward. It's a good habit to kind of pause with the weights against the body or the band. And on the seated row here, I like to rotate my palms up and then rotate the palms down as I reach away. So palms up as I squeeze it in, reach. That's 30 seconds, everybody. 15 more to go in the full way. It's our last set of these. Reach, squeeze, 2, 1, and relax. Woo, woo, good stuff. Time to get some water. And walk it out. Keep some blood flow going into those legs. Okay, before our next circuit, we're gonna open up the upper body a little bit more. We're gonna be doing some upper body work next. So let's start with our behind the back stretch. Set your feet nice and wide, so just outside my hips, and we'll go ahead and start with some arm swings. So swinging those arms back and forth, alternating which arm's on top. And then when you're ready, you wanna interlace those hands behind you. Don't let those ribs lift up. So tuck those ribs down, extend out those elbows. If you can't quite reach your hands, use your band or grab a scarf or a belt and stretch out. Either stay here lifting up or add your forward fold. Send the hips back, bowing forward. Just like with our bent over row, you still wanna hold strong in your lower body. And I like to rotate side to side here, just getting a little bit of an opening, kind of peer up towards the ceiling, and then the other way. And then when you're ready, strong in the legs, tuck the hips under, come on back up to the top. Fantastic. From here, let's make your way over to a wall or a doorway if you're close to one. Place your arm right about a 90-degree angle, elbow at shoulder height, against the door frame or the wall. Inside leg is gonna step forward. And then if I'm on the wall, I'm gonna put my hand flat, just kind of get some traction, and then I wanna lean into it, opening the front of the chest. Breathe. And turn your torso away. Kind of peer over the shoulder of the outer arm. A couple more breaths here. And go ahead and step back in. Relax and turn it around. Same thing other side. So again, my arms here, 90 degrees. Elbow right about shoulder height. Either against the doorway or flat to the wall. Inside leg steps forward. Now watch this arch position. So ribs down, sink in, like I just dive my chest forward, open up the side of the chest. And now turn your body so that you're looking over the shoulder of the front non-stretching arm. There you go. Breathe. Sharon looks like a dancer. She is a dancer. And relax. Good job, everybody. Come on down, shake it out. Just side to side. You can add a little side step with it. We're getting ready to go into some overhead work. So we're going to be doing an alternating overhead press. Anyone that might be on the call that doesn't work to go overhead, you could use a band, go behind your back, and do what we call a chest press, where you just punch out and in, okay? Otherwise, we're gonna be going overhead. You could also use the band for like an overhead press, seated, to make sure it's long enough where you just alternate which arm presses up. Or if you have dumbbells, that's what I'm gonna be demoing with today. You're welcome to do this standing. I'm just gonna do this portion seated. We're gonna be doing, I'm gonna take you through 10 reps of an arm overhead press, alternating arms. Do whatever makes sense to you. I said 5 to 10 in the description. So whatever feels best for your upper body. And then we're gonna do some rotational work in between sets. I'll take you 3 times too. 3 times through, if I could speak. All right. So go ahead and get into position, standing or seated. We're just watching that posture here. So sit and or stand nice and tall. And then whenever you're ready, you're pushing one up, trying to bring that weight kind of straight over the center of your head, elevating the shoulder blade up towards the ear. Good job. Breathe as you push. Elbow comes forward. Fantastic. And even when it's down on your shoulders, you don't want to just like let it drop down. Still keep some engagement, giving a little bit of an upward push. That's right about 5, so right about halfway. If you get to where you start to struggle, always call it early. Very good. Good time to smile, push high, relax it down. Keep those shoulders happy and healthy. Fantastic. Couple more on each side. Elevates, down. Beautiful. All right, fantastic. Go ahead and shake that out. In between sets, we're gonna come down to the floor for our mid-back openers. So you can either be down on the floor or you can do these seated. What it looks like seated is hand behind the head, elbow to the opposite thigh, sit tall and look over that shoulder. On the floor, I'm gonna give you 3 different variations. The first one, long outstretched arms, hand behind the head, elbow towards the opposite elbow, and then you're lifting up out of that bottom shoulder, peer over towards the ceiling. Close it in. And again, remember to lift up. Don't just let yourself sink in towards gravity. So down and up. Let's go for about 5 on each side. Taking your time in that open position. Exhale as you open. And then whenever you're ready, same thing, opposite arm. Again, about 5 reps. Close in, lift up, turn and look over that shoulder. Down and up. It's like you're trying to wring your torso out like a towel. Give some nice rotational movement there. Keep your rib cage mobile. As mobile as it's gonna get anyway. Fantastic. Right about 5 there. And then come on up, shake it out. Feel free to grab a sip of water and then we'll be back to the second set of those overhead presses here. Right about 20 seconds. All right. And if you don't have 2 weights that are the same, maybe you're working with one. I'm going to work with one this time. I'll push it up on one side, bring it down, and switch sides for a total of 10 per side. So just kind of work with what you can. All right, everybody. Whenever you're ready, alternating arms for about 10 on each. And here we go. Elevate high. Nice, smooth breathing. Keeping those ribs down. Very good. Like you're trying to bring that weight straight over the center of your head, not out to the side. Wonderful. And pay attention to your head position. Chin in, so you're stacked right over your shoulders. Sometimes we start to lose and go into that forward head carriage. So keep yourself nice and upright. Right about halfway or so, maybe a little bit more than. Per usual, I kind of lost track of numbers. You want to get to where it's burning, but not to where you're kind of struggling to lock it out. Let's get about 1 or 2 more on each side. Elevate nice and strong. Very good. And go ahead and switch. Very nice. We're going to come back to all 4s. If you're doing it seated, it's going to be the same idea for the mid-back rotations. Back on the floor. This time, we're going to stay up on the palm, but we're going to go a supinated position, meaning palm up and bringing it onto the low back. From here, similar idea. You're going to dip your shoulder down towards your opposite elbow, and you're going to lift up and rotate here. So just is going to give a very subtle variation to the opener. And again, 5 on each side. Sink in, lift up, and rotate. Follow the gaze as well. Turn your head, peer up towards the ceiling. After 5, go ahead and switch sides. Same thing, other side. Palm up. Dip that elbow towards the opposite, shoulder towards the opposite elbow. Lifting up out of the hips and shoulder to rotate. Breathe in and out as you open. Last time. Very good. Shake it out, back to position. We're going to go our last round of that overhead press work here in 20 seconds. All right. So again, seated or standing, whatever feels best for your body. Picking a weight you want to work with. And 2, 1, here we go. Push nice and high. Breathe as you move. Good. Sharon, try to switch hands with it up about chin height. Try not to pick it all the way down to your waist if you're using one. There you go, just like that. Just be careful you don't bop yourself in the chin. Good job. Breathe as you move and push. Very good. Right about halfway. Try to lock it out each time. Push as high as you can. Elevate that shoulder blade. Feel it move on the back of your rib cage. Very good. Let's get about one more each side. Nice lockouts. And bring it down. Fantastic. All right, and last time through on our rotations, this time will be similar to the first round. And if these are really tough for you, stay up on the hand. If you want to go a little bit deeper into the twist, come down onto your forearm, and then we'll go hand behind the head here. Elbow to elbow, again, lift up out of the bottom shoulder as you peer through. Close it down and open. Behind the artboard there. Breathe in, check the bathroom then. And out. Once more. And switch side when you're ready. Find it. Breathe in and exhale. I'll turn my Bluetooth off 1 second. Breathe in and out. Very good, everybody. Once you finish those, let's just take some time on the floor here. Reach the arms out. Drop the hips back into child's pose. Breathing in the back of your back. Spend about 20 to 30 seconds there. And then we're going to get ready for our last piece. We have a 10-minute piece coming up last. Excuse me 1 second. Turn off the devices. All right. Very good. So once you finish that child's pose, anything else that kind of feels stiff, you can repeat that. Hip rock if you're down here, if you want to loosen up that low back just a little bit. And then I'll start talking to you about what we have coming up. So we're going to be doing 10 minutes. And I give you an option as far as like, what kind of rep range do you want to do? I said 5 to 10 reps as the recommendation, and then 15 to 30 on the step jacks and jump jacks. So what are the reps that we're doing? Single arm deadlift, or if you know the snatch or high pull, you can do that. Otherwise, we're going alternating arms. 1 and 2, 3, okay, and 4. So 10 would simply be 5 on each arm of that single arm deadlift. Again, if you're someone that knows the snatch, you're welcome to build it up and move into a snatch. I'm going to be demoing the deadlift from this round. Once you finish the deadlift, next you can go into your burpees. So you're welcome to do these from like an elevated position if you have a bench or a chair around, stepping up, stepping back, or the full burpee from a no push-up position would be here, stepping up to a hop. If you wanted to include that full push-up, you'd come down to your chest, elbows to the side. You can come on and off your knees as needed. You want to work to make sure you're not arching the back here, right? So stay strong. You can either hop your feet or step your feet up, little straight jump overhead. So I'll be doing 10s and then 30 jumping jacks in between cycles. And we're just moving through. We're going to move continuously for 10 minutes. You rest as needed throughout that time. Any questions? And those of you that have like different weights, so Sharon, I know you have that heavier deadlift. You might want to start moderate, and then you can always go a little bit heavier as you move through the rounds. But just make sure you're using a weight that you can keep some good technique. All right. If there are no questions, we'll get started here in right about 20 seconds. So 5 to 10 of each. Single arm deadlift, burpee, 15 to 30 jumping jacks. You can follow me or just move at your own speed, whether it's faster or slower, whatever feels right to you. And we're just going to use this clock. And 2, 1, here we go. Hinging over, squeeze the glutes, alternating arms. Long spine. Breathe. Fantastic. As you're hinging over, sending the hips back, pushing the knees out, have every rep look the same. Very good. After right about 10 or so, then we're going to move into those burpees. So placing the hands underneath the shoulders. You can step or hop the feet back, step or hop the feet up. Squeeze those glutes to pull your torso upright. And you want to alternate which foot you step back, which foot you step up. 4. Good job. Like I said, upwards right about 10 here. Trying to move at a consistent pace. We got a full 10 minutes of work. A few more. Or maybe you're already moving on. Jumping jacks are next. Upwards of 30. Very good. Whenever you finish your burpees, like I said, jumping jacks next. Whew. Fantastic. You can also step. Good. Fantastic. Right about 10 more. All right, everybody, we're about 2 minutes and 15 seconds in. So if you want to grab water, you can, or you can go right back to those deadlifts. Whenever you're ready. Deadlift or snatch, whichever you're choosing. So long spine, hinging over, squeeze the glutes. And as your heart rate gets higher, you want to just make sure you keep your mental game, focus in so you don't get sloppy. Use your breath to guide. Well done. A few more. Burpees are next. Burpees and jumping jacks, not the easiest combination. So whenever you're ready, remember whenever you're supporting on your hands to make a nice wide handprint, disperse the weight through the palm of the hand. Midline strong. Watch that you don't arch that back as you're coming on and off the ground. As you're stepping the foot up, try to get into the heel so you're not up on the toe. So try to place that heel down, step it forward. Well done. Fantastic. Couple more here. Or maybe you're already moving on to those jumping jacks. Well done. Fantastic. Upwards of 30 on the jump jacks or stepping. There you go. You can do an intermittent stepping anytime you need. And you're right about halfway at the end of this round. Fantastic. Anytime you need a quick break, grab some water. And then when you're ready to go back to it, make sure you get into good position. All right, everybody. So whenever you're ready, back to the position, wide base stance, long spine, hinging forward, squeeze the glutes. Up and down. You can always use 2 arms too, if that feels more appropriate for your weight. It doesn't have to be 1 arm. We tend to have a little bit lighter weights at home than we have access elsewhere. So if your weight feels a little bit light for you, then go the 1 arm. If you're like, this is a moderate effort, hang on with 2. Hinging forward and straight up. Fantastic. That's probably right about 10 or so. And step it down. Very good. Once you finish those deadlifts or whatever hinging pattern you're choosing, burpees next. Midline strong. Support your spine in a nice good position. Again, if you step forward, get into that heel the best you can. Stepping back, stepping forward. And if you have any question with your shoulders, just do the plank burpee. That upper body strength is tough for you. If you tend to not hold the best position on push-ups, then do the top of the push-up and from here. It's not cheating, just making adjustments. What's most appropriate for your body on this day and this time. So we can always progress up or down. Fitness is not linear. You gotta listen to how our body's feeling, what kind of intensity is most appropriate today. Very good. About 1 more or so if you're with the burpees on me. And then jumping jacks. We've got 3 minutes left to work. So last full round coming up. Nice job. Good work. Have some fun. Smile. If you got some good music playing at your house, you can always dance around. All right, 2, 1, shake it out. And last time through. So again, if you want to take a drink, totally appropriate. And then get yourself into position. Have the weight right between your ankles, long spine, hinging over, chin in, and here we go. 1 arm or 2, right about 10 reps. Squeeze the glutes, hinging over. Breathe. Fantastic. As you stand tall, don't arch the back, but fire the glutes. Help them to do their job. And moving on to burpees when you're ready. You can always hop to your feet as well. If you're hopping, you want to imagine pulling your hips nice and high to the ceiling and then using your core and still trying to get into those heels as soon as you can. So if you're hopping up, you want to try to bring your feet as close to your hands, and then you want to get back into those heels. So it kind of depends upon your flexibility through the ankles, through your hips and knees. What I don't love to see is when people like hop up and they stay up on the toes and they never get back to the heels before they come up to their feet. Just puts extra strain on the knees. So if your flexibility is of question, stick with the step back, step up. Once again, alternating that step back, step up leg. Let's go about 2 more. And we've got 45 seconds to go. Whew. So we're just going to end it here with our step jacks or jump jacks, resting as needed. Good job. Seconds left. And final 10 seconds. Just kind of step it out. Start to bring that heart rate down. 2, 1, and around. Give yourself an applause and grab some water. Whew. Nice job. All right, folks. Once you catch your breath, we're gonna start with like a side stretch for the cool down. So feet outside the hips, one hand on the hip, and just shift the hip. You don't have to go right over the top of your head to start. You can kind of reach in front of the body a little bit, stretch through the side, and then back down, switch sides. It's really easy to lock out your knees here. So just give a little bit of give in the knees. Keep those heels planted, grip the toes. And then you can look to reach a little bit more overhead each time. Just kind of try to change the position of the hand slightly. Hand on the hip, stretching across. Sharon was saying that we were matching in the beginning, but we're even more matching now that I took my sweatshirt off. Maroon and orange, who would have thought? Too funny. All right, everybody. Hands up in I Dream a Genie position. Pull that chin in and just gently rotate side to side. Peer over the shoulder. Again, not forcing anything through the knees or anything, just a gentle twist. A couple times each way. Very good. And then we're going to stay here for one more, repeating that behind the back stretch. Open the chest, ribs down, lengthen. Bounce into those feet, set them strong, send those hips long. Pull it up and through. Nice deep breaths into the back of the spine. And relax, come on out. Very good. Let's go ahead and finish down on the floor.
Shauna, I have to go.
All right, Diane, great to see you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. We'll see you next time. Be well. Sit tall. Go ahead and cross the one leg over. Seated twist here. So hug that leg in. Really want to focus to lengthen through the spine. And then if you feel comfortable to go into a little bit deeper twist, you can use the arm, place it on the ground, and you're just gradually working yourself around, seeing how close you can get that elbow onto the knee. And peer over that shoulder. Breathe here. And relax out of that. We're going to go same thing other side. Lengthen the one leg, lift the leg up, just start to shift it in, hug it in. And now we're going to lengthen through that spine, peer over the shoulder. Walking the hand around if you want to go a little bit deeper. And relax out of there. Fantastic. Last one, we're just going to come onto the side, repeat that quad stretch from earlier in the hour. Grab the heel, pulling it back. So this will be the last one that we do together. Those of you that may have some extra time after class, you're welcome to add in that figure 4 stretch for the hips. Open up the hip just a little bit more. And always great to repeat those upper body stretches, the pec stretch against the wall, the tricep openers, and so on. Go ahead and switch sides, quad stretch on the opposite side. Grab it on, pulling it back. 30 seconds here. And remember that top shoulder. So we tend to go here sometimes. Open up the chest, pulling it back and in. Very good. 15 more seconds. And relax. Fantastic. So feel free, roll onto your back, pull both knees into the chest. Like I said, that figure 4 hip stretch is a good finisher as well. Otherwise, look forward to seeing many of you live here on Thursday. Thanks for being here today, everybody. Stay healthy.